back from his paid vacation, sabbatical, UC administrative position, whatever it was that he was at. Finally here for the skit this year. And last and finally, any graduate student, the first one to raise their hand. Yusuf, come on up. Oh, I'm going to This is a very well organized skit. This is all on purpose. Is this on?
Oh, old guys, but warning you if we're going to do this too.
All right.
Very good, guys.
Okay. So welcome Ben, welcome Demian, welcome Yusuf to Jeopardy for Economists. We don't have an Indian person on tech support, so things are going on. Alright, problem fixed. Okay guys, the rules, we made this a little more simple than Jeopardy. You only get to bid $100. Okay. But we'll go around in a circle, each of you gets to choose a category. And in the category there is exactly one question. Alright. The winner will get something that I will talk to you about later. Okay, contestants, your categories are the econo-blogosphere, spam and other canned products, potent potables, proctology, economic literature, and forecasting. For no reason in particular, we will start with Demian. You get to choose the first category.
Proctology.
Demian chooses proctology. Alright, the question is, what is the SAS command used by labor economists in value-added models for teacher quality? Proc inbreed, proc teach qual, or proc ANOVA? Demian is an econometrician, so he should have no problem answering this. Demian, your answer. Choose it.
Proc teach equal.
Proc teach qual. And the answer, ladies and gentlemen, you can press next. It's gonna highlight. Is proc inbreed. Believe it or not. This is one of 3 things that I took away from Jesse's class this year. So Demian is still in the lead weekly with 0. But yeah, so he's still in the lead weekly with 0. Come on.
He loses 100.
Okay, so Demian is not in the lead with negative 100. Yusuf is up next. Yusuf, what category would you like?
Forecasting?
Forecasting. Alright, who won most likely to express his opinion in his high school senior class?
Who is deriving?
Oh! What even Even before the options came up, Yusuf chose who is Barry? I can green. The answer, Yusuf, is Matthew Raven. Yusuf and Demian are now tied at negative 100. Ben, with a runaway lead of 0.
Can I go home now? economic literature.
All right, economic literature for $100, ladies and gentlemen. Which of these is not a real JEM code? Option 1, feminist economics. Option 2, postal and delivery services. Option 3, psychology. All right, Ben, what's it going to be?
I'm gonna go with postal delivery.
Postal and delivery services, says Ben, and the answer is You know what I really like about Berkeley Econ is how broad the knowledge of faculty members is. Everyone now back in the lead weekly with negative 100. Steven, it's your turn again. Choose a category. First one. The first one, the econo-blogosphere. All right. This is a great question. Which of these is not a hashtag used by Brad DeLong on his blog? Choice 1, boys. Choice 2, meats back on the menu. And choice 3, microeconomics. Demi chooses microeconomics, and for the I'm not surprised. Brad's a macroeconomist. Demian officially is a macroeconomist. I'm not surprised. Yusuf, you have spam, potent portables. Oh, that's it. Yeah.
Spam and other cat products.
Spam and other cat products. Which of these is not? Choice 1. Choice 3.
FWD ... social media and the food truck movement.
Yusuf says social media and the food truck movement, and the answer, ladies and gentlemen, is tied for the lead now. Demian and Yusuf. All right. Ben, now's your chance to have a three-way tie for the lead. Potent portables. Oh! Topics that socially awkward David on. Is David on still here? I guess. All right. Option 1. Option 2. Option 3. Not yet, but good thinking there. But no, not now. Ken Homeland.
I'm not sure David knows who Lindsay Lohan is.
All right. Oh! Holy moly, three-way tie. Here's what we're going to do. Final Jeopardy question, not yet up. Hold on, Eric. Whoever of these three contestants answers it first wins. Okay? I changed the rule arbitrarily now. The category is the economics of stargazing. The question is, this econ community member's email address is Ben Hermelin.
James Powell.
Jim Powell.
5 emails a day.
So, interesting story about this. So, Jim Powell sends out an email saying, "Dear colleagues, I'm really glad that Krishnan is joining the faculty again. I noticed that it says auggyboy@calmail.co.uk. And I was like, maybe this is spam. Maybe Caltech's idea of a joke. I then Googled auggyboy@calmail.co.uk. And you will see why the category is the economics of stargazing. I'll leave it at that. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Ben, floor is yours. Faculty skit.
Ben with there.
And there. Davvero?
2.
Sempre nel giapponese?
No, il primo 80 anni fa, no, 80 anni fa, 2 anni fa. Il secondo 11 anni fa.
Okay. Does anyone have a megaphone so I can be as loud as Kaushik?
Ben, can you tilt the projector so our slides are straight?
That's too much work for me.
Actually, you know the difference, they're all drunk, but...
Okay, so as we all know, there's a number of neat areas where we're really looking to hire faculty in the economics department. One of these neat areas is for a skit writing faculty member. So, much to my surprise, when I started thinking about this in the past few days, I came across this memo from Jim to the dean, some dean, specifically highlighting exactly why we have a lack of skit writing faculty members. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you what the results of Jim's study were. So the first thing that Jim discovered when he knocked on Stefano's door and asked Stefano if he was a skit writing faculty member, which he actually is. And what he found out was Stefano's actually writing a book. Economics, Economists with Babies Explore the Hidden Side of Everything. Ulrike is obviously the co-author on this book. Thomas is intricately involved. Lucas and Alex. And I got a sneak peek at this book for this skit. So we have nannies and the holdup problem, chapter 1. A behavioral approach to nanny monitoring. Stefano's nanny, I believe, may be here. This is kind of, you may want to read this chapter. Diaper changing and welfare structural approach. Stefano asked me to contribute to this chapter, and I was happy to. Finding a nanny who speaks 3 languages, a very niche chapter. And finally, and this is the most important chapter in Stefano's book, finding a nanny to cook bruschetta like my mother used to do. So look for this on shelves. Look for this on shelves soon. Creepy background baby. So next, Jim went over. And what he found out was that Yuri had actually started his own TV network. So it's called YTV. Direct competitor for CNBC. It's a Nash oligopoly. And the key thing here, you guys can't read this probably, but there's two tickers Yuri always has on the screen when he's doing his inflation forecasting. The first ticker is a real-time stream of Yuri's publications. Actually occurred. And the second ticker is the real-time impact of Yuri's research on stock prices. He decided to forego the actual prices and focus more on the impact. Now, Yuri was kind enough to give me some programming on his channel. Notice this is a big-time channel. And so Yuri's afternoon programming, you can come to him if you have some better ideas. But for those in the back, his 1 to 2 p.m. slot is Yuri buys bonds. The 2 to 3 slot is, well, I can't say Yuri's inflationary expectations. 3 to 4 is graduate admissions in the macroeconomy. It's very timely. And 4 to 5 is actually one of my favorite shows. Yuri fixes a small opening. So Jim is making this report. Sorry? Okay. Jim,
It's too plausible to be funny.
talk to Yuri about your program. So, Jim walked down the hall, not very far, to the econometrics group. And what he found was that actually there were faculty writing papers on skit writing, but not actually wanting to write the skits. Two papers, both by Damien and Dennis. These are great papers. The first one, both published this year. The first one is in Econometric Up, and it's called Asymptotic Properties of Skit Length Estimating.
Are you sure it's not skirt length?
The second paper is actually a really new piece. It's very interesting. It's called Confidence Intervals for Non-Parametric Bounds on Skit Length. Evidence from Evans. This is one observation here. Actually, more than one. Many observations. So. By the way, before I talk about the paper Ted and I are writing, I'd like to point out that I just Googled us and found these pictures on the internet. For me, a little creepy. I'm not sure where that came from. It's a nice photo. So the paper, which we've been working on for a long time, is called Optimal Office Hours, Evidence in Kenya. And what we're doing is we're running a randomized trial to study the causal impact of different office hour treatments on social well-being. So this is a great paper. Control, no office hours. That's, you have to have a control. That's what I'm traveling. The treatment 1 is 1 hour, 2 30-minute slots. So this is a quota system. And key results from the studies are that first, there's student physical altercations. Second, rampant corruption. So Ted has a really fantastic research agenda on corruption. Treatment 2 was 1 hour, 6 10-minute slots. Key result is that leads to students on the job market with treatments but no controls. And so, Ted essentially implemented the experiment. I ran the structural analysis for this experiment, and what I did was I solved for optimal office hour regimes based on just these 2 treatments. And what I found was that the optimal regime is dividing students into a 30-minute time slot called 10 an hour. The equilibrium from this model is 36 students, and each student has 5/6 of a minute. And we're actually working on implementing this. So Emmanuel had some thoughts. Similar to Dennis and Damien, Emmanuel is actually writing papers on skits as well. And he's using a regression discontinuity approach. And what he found is that when he hits the kink in his income tax rate, his production of skits, this is a fitted curve, not the production of skits goes down substantially. So that's an incentive effect. So Shahar, Shahar has many thoughts on it. I think Shahar is probably thinking about training students to write skits down the road. Graduate school is the time to pick up technical skills. Forget about learning about making skits after you leave grad school. Forget about it. Sequential equilibria is apparently something Shahar knows a lot about. And so Shahar has worked with Jim to reform the graduate program. Here's what he has in mind. Apparently Shahar and David, not Shahar and Jim. And it starts at boot camp. This is sponsored by Israel. just like Kaushik said, I'm allowed to say that. Discipline is paramount. So we have some students from Shahar's army. And I look forward to your skits down the road. And Shahar is really concerned with taking over Stanford this year. And, I'm not sure who this is in the army, but let's say it's Shahar and Jim and David Cart. Since David On has been in enough skits. So finally, Jim himself and Ben have no time to write skits because they're busy doing important work for the department, including hunting for assistant professors. I didn't make this slide, Yuri made this slide. The reason I'm pointing this out is that Ben somehow ended up in the good. Someone else is in the middle, movie character, and Jim ended up as the ugly. And that wasn't me. So Enrico, we haven't even been able to locate. Stefano actually found Enrico in this slide in a modeling in San Francisco. And he was telling us, Skit, what's Skit? Take a break. Finally, and last but not least, so I said we didn't have David. We do have David. We checked David's office, and he was busy tracking 1.54 billion hits on his latest music video, which I'm going to try to play here. So let's see if we get some volume. David's not writing skits.
Are we really going to watch that?
I assume everyone's seen that video. So. But one thing I wanted to point out, and this is our last slide, is that earlier when we were talking about this, Yuri had not seen this video. For the first 5 seconds of the video, very short time, Yuri asked me, "Is that really David?"
much, Ben. That was really great, and to all faculty, especially David Ahn, of course. We now have two